intentionally impoverishing the population and enslaving the population through higher debts. You just look at, say, student loans. They're now close to $1 trillion, larger than credit card debit balances. I mean, these loans will be a huge burden on people working, and a lot of people will never be able to repay these loans. They'll be enslaved forever. And I mean, the problem is really, you know, it's easy to print money, and optically it looks good first. The problem arises that when you print the money, or in the words of Mr. Bernanke, you drop the dollar bills onto the United States, helicopters, you don't know what the population will do with these dollars. What can happen in a global economy where leakages exist, it can boost the economy of China and not the economy of the United States. It can lead to undesirable consequences in the US, such as overconsumption that then leads to a trade deficit. The US trade deficit is offset by the trade surplus of China, and so it creates employment in China, capital spending in China, income gains in China, consumption gains in China, but not in the US. And that is the difficulty of monetary policy. And by the way, I am completely against any government intervention in the economy, because if you follow it really through, a complete government intervention in the economy is the totalitarian socialist communist state, and all of them have failed miserably. And so if people say, oh, we have to do something, and the elite, of course, they will argue, well, we have to intervene to avoid a total disaster and so on. They're actually protecting their own interests and not the interest of the common man in America.
Dr. Faber, you know, you say if you were a conspiracy theorist, and I understand that's a bit tongue-in-cheek, but the crony capitalist class, this anti-free market, and wants the totalitarian system to secure their ill-gotten gains, they are scapegoating capitalism as the problem when it's been this insider system that's allowed this criminal transfer. Now,
Correct.
Okay, so you say I'm correct.
Capitalism. Well, basically, you look at the problem arose through regulation and through government-sponsored enterprises and through a manipulation by the Federal Reserve of interest rates by keeping them artificially low. And it's not the failure of the market. The market tried to solve the problem, first of all, through the SNL crisis in 1990, and then through the tequila crisis in 94, and then in 98, the market would have solved all the problems had LTCM gone bankrupt. That would have given a signal to the system, you're not allowed to leverage up too much. Because if you leverage up too much and you go bankrupt, nobody will help you. But the bailout gave them the signal, there's a Greenspan put and then a Bernanke put, and just keep on leveraging up, and you'll be rewarded for that. If you go bankrupt and you're the boss of the bank, they will fire you and you walk out with $100 million, and if you succeed, you get stock options and they go up in value, or you got also $100 million. So where's the risk? I have to say, at least the hedge fund manager, he has his own money on the line. That's why actually very few hedge funds really failed. Some of them went out of business because of bad performance, but they didn't go bankrupt. The way the banks, essentially all of them are bust. They went bust, but they were bailed out by the system. If you're a small entrepreneur in Illinois or in Dakota or wherever that may be, and you go bust, nobody will help you. But if you're a big bank, they'll help you.
Amazing. I know it's 2 in the morning there in Switzerland, there in Zurich. We're very, very honored.
No, I'm in Zurich, in Thailand.
Oh, you're in Thailand. That's why it's 2 in the morning. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. What time in the morning is it there, Doc?
Now it's 1:20 in the morning.
All right. Well, you were very, very nice to be on with us. We'll be back after this quick break. He was joining us from Thailand. Gloomboomdoom.com is Dr. Faber's site. I'm going to ask him, where is all this going? What can we individually do to protect ourselves? Straight ahead with Dr. Faber. Hi, this is Alex Jones. Did you know that the global elite are now storing non-hybrid seeds in secret storage vaults near the Arctic Circle? Did you know that in a real meltdown, non-hybrid seeds can become more valuable than silver or gold? It's true, seeds have outperformed even gold and silver before in this country, and it's possible that could even happen again. So our friends at Solutions from Science have put together the perfect mix of non-hybrid seeds. They call it a survival seed bank, and it can produce an endless supply of nutrient-dense food for you and your family. And here's the best part. These seeds have not been genetically modified in any way, and you actually get enough seeds to plant a full-acre crisis garden. So visit them today at survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com, or give them a call at 877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365. Remember, in a real crisis, non-hybrid seeds are the ultimate barter item. This is Alex Jones for survivalseedbank.com.
Healthy soils grow healthy plants. So before you plant your survival garden this year, is your soil healthy? Maximize your crisis garden soil with EM1 from Terraganics. EM1 Organic Soil Conditioner, Fertilizer Amendment, and Compost Accelerant provides healthier gardens and faster, efficient garden composting. EM1 from Terraganics.com quickly improves soil structure by increasing nutrient availability and converting organic matter into soil humus. This improves seed germination and root growth, improves plant quality, size, color, flavor, nutrient value of fruits and vegetables, and improves shelf life. And when rain is not in the forecast, no worries. EM1 improves moisture retention in soils, helping reduce drought stress. Just like you prepare all else, prepare your crisis garden for maximum yields with EM1 from Terraganics.com. Order now at TERAGANIX.com or call toll-free 866-369-3678. That's 866-369-3678. Terraganics. Life's getting better.
We all know the importance of having storable foods, but what about when the food runs out? What then? For real food independence, you need a supply of non-hybrid seeds. Introducing the Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com. The Survival Seed Vault is sealed for freshness and includes 20 varieties of easy-to-grow non-hybrid seeds for only $37.95. For less than $40, you've got real food independence. And the Survival Seed Vault includes detailed planting and seed-saving instructions. Imagine the barter power you'll have when the food supply does collapse. Right now, save $9 instantly when you buy 3 or more Survival Seed Vaults from MyPatriotSupply.com. Same-day shipping on all orders, plus free shipping on orders over $49. Call 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Or discover more emergency preparedness products at MyPatriotSupply.com. That's MyPatriotSupply.com.
Diesel owners, have you had enough of hard starts, poor mileage, and poor performance? The cause is stiction, a gummy residue that clings to injectors like cholesterol clings to arteries. Stiction robs your diesel engine of power, performance, and gas mileage. The answer, Hot Shot Secret.
This is Lee from Minnesota. I have a F350 with a 6.0 diesel, and I had many injector problems and hard starting problems. After I added Hot Shot Secret, it now starts better, feels stronger, and my mileage went up 2 miles per gallon. I recommend Hot Shot Secret to anyone with a diesel engine.
Hot Shot Secret, the only oil additive engineered to remove stiction in all diesel engines. Clean from the inside out with Hot Shot Secret. Available nationwide at all Tractor Supply stores. Or call 800-341-6516. That's 800-341-6516. Or go to HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
All right, we've just got Dr. Faber for this segment and part of the next. I specifically want to ask him about what individuals should do because his track record's been pretty darn accurate on what's happening. What's his take on gold being driven down today? When does he expect Bernanke to bring in the QE3? And why has Bernanke made this decision? I know it's about squeezing the public while posing as the good guy, but what does the ruling class think they're going to do with all this? Because, I mean, sure, they grab all the money and power, but they wreck the society, so they're wrecking what they've actually captured. But I guess in war, a few eggs get broken.
Yes, this is precisely what I've been writing about. You know, even if you're the monopolist, there is a price above which you shouldn't go, because if you go above that price, the demand falls off a cliff. So even the monopolist, he has to maximize his profits with a price that is halfway reasonable. And I believe, intentionally or unintentionally, the so-called 1%, and as I said before, I think it's not 1%, but it's more like 0.25% of the population. They've driven their wealth to an extreme that actually at some stage will lead to a massive wealth destruction. Because each time in history you had a few people that were incredibly rich and the masses were kind of impoverished, it came to social strife or to hyperinflation or to revolutions or to war. And in war times, basically everybody loses out. So of course there's some war profiteers, but they also lose out in the end, frequently with their lives. And so my view is, maybe the well-to-do should consider policies that are more equitable to the masses. And I think what they should have done is oppose the money print by the Federal Reserve instead of encouraging it. Because don't forget, Wall Street has benefits from money printing in the sense that if markets go down and there is money printing, then the water level is refilled and the asset prices go up and performance fees come back in and so forth. So their tendency is, of course, always to encourage money printing.
If you were in charge, instead of the G20, what would you do to try to resuscitate the global economy?
Well, I think, you see, I disagree with the Keynesian theory that government spending stimulates the economy. I believe if you have a dollar and you give it to the private sector, mistakes will happen. But the dollar will be invested more efficiently than if you give it to the governments. In particular, if you give it to the Obama administration, it's a complete waste. That is the problem. And I think if you really wanted to revive the global economy, but the policymakers, they will not admit that. Austerity, in the sense to cut government spending 50%, that would help the global economy. But of course the policymakers will make you believe that if you have austerity, it will be a disaster for the economy. It's like if AIG would have gone bankrupt, it would have been a disaster for the global economy. No, you just can ring-fence the operations that have a social function, like the insurance operation. The derivatives operation, you just kick out and let Goldman Citigroup and JP Morgan solve that mess. And you guarantee the depositors of Citigroup and Morgan and let them essentially lose their derivatives position. And so I believe that the policymakers and the media and essentially the Keynesian economists, they all brainwash the public in the sense of telling the public, oh, if the government hadn't intervened through the Federal Reserve and the Treasury, the crisis would have been much worse.